Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Me and Grant, so you know what that means. That means more Gintama.
So these chapters, you started off on a very good arc.
Yeah, we teased this last episode. This is with the Kabuki neighborhood arc. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to turn out the way it did. I thought it was going to be very comedic at first, but ended off pretty good.
What did you think of it, though?
Yeah, I liked it. The only thing I just need to ask is the reason why Jirocho was doing what he did was because of the Yamato, right? They were trying to take over Kabuki. I was getting confused on that part.
Oh, you mean which one was Jirocho? The tan one, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was because of the Yamato. I think it was because I want to say it was. It's been a while since I watched that arc. I mean, you know the reason why he became one of the leaders, right? Because of that one dude that Otose liked.
Yeah, Otose's husband.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it was, Tatsugoro was his name.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why. Oh no, the Yamato looking one.
Yeah, her. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the one that sided with the Yamato.
I thought she wasn't a Yamato.
She is the.
I thought she had them elf ears.
So we have Otose, we have the cross-dressing dude, Saigo, and Hime Kata is her name with the elf ears. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just couldn't remember the beginning of the arc, but I was pretty sure she was trying to take over the town, I guess.
Yeah, she wanted to because there's 4 leaders. Yeah, I think she was the one that asked for the Yamamoto's help.
Okay. Yeah, so she basically her and Jirocho teamed up basically in this arc, and they were I guess like the plan was just to take over Kabuki for all these aliens to I guess take over, and then we do get a little info about him and Otose. We get that flashback
for a while. You get to know more of Otose's past, which is cool.
Yeah, she and him were best friends, and then eventually another person joined the group who Otose ended up marrying later. And both of these guys went to war. Jirocho had a family back home. Once the war was over, he did not return home. Instead, he came back to Kabuki and became one of the leaders. What also started up this arc was his daughter showed up. I forget her name. Parako, I think it is.
Yeah, or Panako.
Panako, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, and they were doing a bunch of puns with her name too. Chin Parako. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It was so weird because this is where I thought I'm like, oh, this is where we're getting all the comedy, is because she showed up to Gintoki's spot and was just like, hey boss, let me be your student. And he's like, what? And she's like, come on, with your abilities, we could take over this town. And then she started picking fights with everybody around town, saying like, yeah, this is the new boss, this and that. And at first I'm like, okay, we'll see where this wackiness goes to. And then it turns out like, oh no, actually we're she's planned this from the beginning, all to help
get to Jirocho.
All to help her dad take over the town more easily. And we see that when he goes to meet Otose, everybody's freaking out like, where is she? She sent anybody to go eat, and then she decided to go to her husband's grave, and from there she talks to Jirocho, and they're like, you know what has to be done, kind of thing. Yeah, because one of the crazy things was I didn't expect for Otose to have such a big influence in
on Jirocho.
Yeah, no, not on Jirocho, in Kabuki.
Yeah, she's a powerful leader.
Yeah, which I was like, we never saw any of that.
Yeah,
up until now.
It was a big surprise.
Yeah, the nice part about it is we got a lot of characters come back that I was really surprised with. We got the blacksmith daughter. We got the firefighter chick.
You got that snobby Yakuza guy. Looks French.
And I was like, oh shit, I'm surprised we got all these people to come back.
And then you got some new characters introduced. I think the tranny dude was introduced. The cross-dressing one.
Oof.
The mega buff one. Basically, like, he's in charge of all the male escorts in Kabukicho.
Oh, are you talking about Saigo?
I think that's his name,
Tokumori?
yeah.
Oh, no, he showed up before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had his own arc.
Dude, it's ridiculous how strong he is.
Yeah, he took off, all he had was a loincloth on, and was it a giant hammer?
Yeah.
And just wrecking shit. I was like, okay.
Makes sense.
One of the fights where I was like, oh shit, was the first time Gintoki fought Jirocho.
Oh yeah, Gintoki lost his shit. He went psychotic.
Yeah, because luckily it didn't happen, but he tried to kill Otose, which I don't think he would have been able to do it anyways.
You mean Jirocho to Gintoki or Gintoki?
No, Jirocho to Otose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he would be able to do it.
No.
Yeah, so they fought. That fight was intense. Sadly, it didn't last that long, but whew, man, they were going all over the place with that.
That was a crazy skirmish. You saw the white yakusha come out of Gintoki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good stuff.
When he's going to the grave and he thinks Otose's dead.
Yeah, and then he passes out, and then he wakes up at the I guess the hospital, and like, oh, they have Otose there. And she hasn't woken up yet, but she's still recovering, and I think they said they weren't sure if she was gonna wake up or not, kind of thing. And then,
because she was in a coma.
Yeah, because she's up there in her age and that kind of wound. Yeah.
Dude, that panel though, when Gintoki's like about to strike Jirocho, and you see his like one eye, like, oh man, that was a good panel.
Yeah, and then we got a bunch of other stuff going on in this arc. Again, with the flashbacks, learning more about Jirocho's background, and then eventually he gets betrayed. Him and his whole unit, basically, they went to go attack Tose's bar, which again I didn't realize it was that significant of a location.
Yeah,
Toki
and the others live up top.
Yeah, well, besides that, it's just like, oh, this is an important place for Kabuki, and I'm like, oh, I thought it was just some kind of bar, right? It reminds me of in Luke Cage, there was a barber shop owned by a character named Pops, and that was pretty much like neutral territory in Harlem. It's like everybody could go in there, but just nothing can happen. You're just there to talk, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a safe zone.
Yeah, and then eventually it gets attacked, this and that. But that's for Luke Cage. But yeah, I wasn't expecting Otose's bar to be like that. I just kind of wish there was more setup with her being this big of a person in the Gintama world. Leading
it just
up to
came
this.
suddenly.
I mean, I'm sure he had the plan for this to happen, but I wish it was really teased here and there. Oh yeah, so they're there, and then Gintoki, Shinpachi, and Kagura are there, and they're just like, no, this place ain't going down. Like, not only do we live here, but this place is important. And then Tom was there as well, and then a bunch of other characters show up.
The hard-boiled samurai.
Yes, yeah, and Hasegawa shows up. Like I said, the firefighter chick and the blacksmith shows up, and then what's his name? The old man. With the
robotic dude?
Yeah. I just saw him right now. So they're all there, they're all fighting the cross-dressers, the Okami. And then I think the Yamato show up to help fight, but then it turns out, they're actually betraying the Okamis as well, and that was the plan from the beginning, was the Yamato were going to take over without aligning themselves with anybody else.
They were just like, one group was going to take over the entire place.
Yeah, and the reason why the leader, what's his name again, Saigo, was helping them was because they have his son hostage, and so so they sent Catherine, because if you remember, Catherine used to be a thief. So she went to go sneak in to the building and go rescue his son, and then when she shows up, he's like, "Who's there?" And she's like in like this latex outfit, this, and then he locks the door. He's like, "Go away, you creep." And it's like, yep. Nobody likes Catherine. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, she just has that shitty personality, man.
Yeah, she's like I don't know why. She's like the Meg of Gintama.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah. Like, even the cross-dressing dude, I forget his name again.
Yeah, it was.
He's more likable than Catherine.
Eventually, yeah, they saved his son, so he's starting to fight the Yamato, and Gintoki goes by himself to go fight Jirocho. But then, as Gintama learns more of the past, he decides to help Jirocho fight the Yamato. And
robot dude is named Gengai-sama.
Oh, Gengai, that's right.
Yeah. You were saying, though?
Oh, yeah, so Gintoki and Jirocho team up, and they take out, I forget her name, her elite squad of Yamato. And, what happens after that? It's been a while. They pretty much defeat her, and they have a talk about that's her name, Kujaku Himekata? No, that's not her.
Hime something. And you're that right.
Her. Yeah.
The Jirocho's daughter is Parako, not Panako.
Parako, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason she's here is because she just wants her dad to come home. I think it's implied her mom died of sickness already. I don't remember.
So she was trying to find her dad, yeah.
Yeah, because her mom kept saying like, "Oh, his war is not done. Then he's still fighting, but he'll return home eventually." And she was sick the whole time, I think. And I'm pretty sure it's implied that she passed away, and that's one of the main reasons Parako came back, so that way she could just bring her father home finally. Some good moments between characters in this arc overall. I liked how it ended with Gintoki told Parako, it's like, "Okay, how about you meet me up here, and then we'll
actually fight."
Yeah, I think it was fight or do your training or something.
And
then that's when Jirocho showed up, and
they worked together for a bit.
Well, yeah, they were back at the I guess like the mansion or wherever they were at. And yeah, basically Jirocho was just talking as if he was a stranger, saying, "Oh yes, if you're going that way, I'm going that way too. I have my family to go see or whatever, and they both go off together." And like, I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good moment with them. Yeah. Overall, this was it was an interesting arc for sure.
All the hosts, a lot of hosts. Otai-chan's hosts.
They showed up too to fight.
The dude with the weird mutton chop and afro combo mustache thing, you remember?
Yeah.
It looks like a cloud. It's not even afro at that point.
Yeah, him and his boss, who were they had an arc a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it's rated R time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and yeah, of course, there was plenty of humor during the fights as well. The continuous bit of Tai-chan just being stupid strong. She's just whooping these aliens, and they're like, "What the hell's going on? Why is she so strong?"
Right.
Oh, and then of course, this was before all the Okami decided to switch places.
Oh yeah, switch sides.
Yeah, they were fighting the men hostess.
I
forget his name. But yeah, he was
with the blonde hair, right?
Yeah, he was taking everybody down, and then, like, there's like a line for them to get hit, and they're like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And it's just like, "Oh, well, if we're gonna die, we might as well get our slain by that guy," you know?
Yeah, because he's the hottest one.
Yeah, and then it turns out like he's actually not hitting them; it's a fake sword, you know? And he's like, "Yeah, we don't kill people," or whatever he said, and they were like, "Oh my god."
Oh, they're called the Okama.
Or Okama, excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget because like Okama is like a derogatory term for like I think it's gay people in Japan or like transvestites in Japan.
Well, like drag queens.
Yeah, drag queens. That's what they are.
Yeah, just like Mr. 2 in One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Okama way. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this arc right here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was definitely surprised how it turned out.
I loved how Hasegawa was in the box and it just said Gundam on it.
Yeah, and then when he's with, and then Genkai shows up with his army of robots, you see Hasegawa in the crowd. And then during the epilogue, when it, it shows what every character is doing, over this monologue, we see Genkai fixing Hasegawa into a robot.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, Hasegawa, that guy just...
Man, that guy's got a tough life.
I mean, yeah, you could call it that.
Madao.
A Madao, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good arc. Really good panels, too. Because I noticed you made some edits. And I'm really liking the edits you make after reading separate arcs. Yeah, this was a couple chapters actually. It was like 10 chapters.
Yeah, almost every arc in this chunk of 50 chapters was at least like 3 chapters.
Mm-hmm. And this one was like 10.
Yeah, this one went on for a while. Yeah. God, there's some fucking arcs in here we'll get to. So this next arc, to my surprise, the main character for this one is Shinsuke.
Oh.
And he is on a Monto ship. They're not on Earth. I forget where they're at. But he's basically there. He's teaming up with the Yamato to help take over.
With Kagura's brother.
Yes, yeah. This is where they first meet. What is Kagura's brother's name again?
Let's see, Kagura's brother.
Kamui.
Yeah, Kamui.
Yeah, so they both show up on the ship, and they're both there to do basically the same thing. Kamui he ends up getting betrayed by this organization he's working with. So he's fighting everything off, and of course they're from the Yado clan, so they're stupid strong. And then that's where Shinsuke shows up and starts fighting Kamui, and they end up capturing him. So Kamui's locked up, and then Shinsuke's talking to the higher ups, and then eventually the plan was to betray Shinsuke as well. And so him and Kamui decide to team up because they both hate Gintoki. Is one reason.
Yeah.
So
I like how on Shinsuke's actual ship, you think he's back on, but it's just the lolicon dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he disguised as him. It's like, you freaking lolicon? He's like, I'm not a lolicon, I'm a feminist.
Yeah.
Feminista. Oh, man. Dude, Bonsai is like my favorite character in the group. All he just does is chill and play that instrument and listen to music.
Yeah, he showed back up, too. Yeah.
Oedo's Healthy Youth Ordinance Revision Bill. What the hell are you doing in my memories, you bastard?
Yeah, so that was cool. We see a future team up that we'll definitely see later down the line.
It's still funny how like Kamui got like a bunch of arrows. Like he got shot in the back like by 4 of them, and he's just like, "What the hell? This tingles."
Mm-hmm, yeah, that's pretty much all that happened this arc.
That's foreshadowing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
so keep that arc in mind.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see more of Shinsuke. This is probably like the 3rd time we've seen him. And yeah, he's barely gotten any dialogue in at all, so it's great to see him actually do something.
Oh yeah. Oh man, Shinsuke, like that's Oscar's favorite character. He really likes Shinsuke. He is like really evil. But the next arc though, with Lake Toya.
Oh yeah, he shows back up. I think his name's Toyako.
He's all older now. He's like, I'm here to teach you a special technique. Why? Because if you don't know one, Bandai Namco won't put you any video games and you'll lose money.
Yeah, was it last time he's like, yeah, the anime's gonna get canceled or something?
Yeah. You need to learn a special technique.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but he is basically just a ripoff of Zangetsu from Bleach.
Really?
Yeah, if you look up Zangetsu Bleach, they look exactly the same. That is the spirit in Ichigo's sword.
Let's see. Oh, with the brown hair? Brown hair?
Yeah,
I can see it now. He's casually coughing and slipping in hints.
Yeah.
I was there for the third anniversary. What? Third anniversary? Could you repeat that, please? He's just coughing in between words.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this was basically the same thing as last time.
It's like, come on, like you need to learn. The anime has ended. You need to learn something. Like,
yeah.
Did Gintoki learn anything?
No. Because the same shit happens. They try to make a scenario set up where his parents get involved.
Yeah. I love how he was talking deep about the anime industry. So like, when anime is made, the ritualistic expansion of goods produced also occurs for the sponsors. When the goods stop selling, they stop getting made, and then there are no sponsors, which makes it impossible to have an anime. So why are they talking about anime economics?
I think because the season just ended for Gintama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there was... they bring it up again, too, later in this chunk about the anime.
Do you understand what you rejected back then was not just the path to making a fighting game? It was your futures. It's something you use for sponsors.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this chapter actually reminded me that there is a Gintama game on PS4.
There is. It's a Rumble game.
Yeah, it's just I don't think it got localized, sadly.
I love how his mom had a beard too.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
And then they show fucking Katsura out of nowhere. Ring a ding dong, ring a ding dong. And then what was the one after that?
Yeah, the one after that was it stars Kondo this time, and he is asking Otei-chan to a date where they would go watch a baseball game. And she actually said yes. And he was just like, yeah, it's okay if you don't want to. And he's like, wait, what did you just say? Did you just say yes? And she's like, yeah, I'll go with you to the baseball game. And he's like, fucking finally.
And then he rips the ticket.
Yeah.
Run! And then, like, he goes outside. He's like, okay, I'm ready for this date. And a spear stabs him right in the arm. And it's raining spears for some reason.
Yeah. There was basically the world was telling him no. And his tickets flew out of his hand, and he's trying to chase him down. And then eventually Kagura grabs him. I think it's Kagura. It's Kagura.
Yeah, he gets hit. A lot of things happen. The spears hit him. He goes through a manhole, and like the tickets are there. Then he gets hit by a car.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it's like, hey, buddy, you don't look too good. He's like, oh, I'm all right. I just need those tickets. And then Kagura picks him up, and he's like, oh, those are actually mine. Yeah, and then the bit is like he's playing baseball with these kids, and Kagura throws him a pitch, but she's Kagura, so of course he gets fucking flown into a building.
And then he gets the wrong ticket for for the Beatles fighting the Kagura Beatles.
Oh yeah, and then eventually some other kid picks it up, and he's kind of really just given up at this point. And then it starts raining. And that's when Hijikata and them show up, and he was just like, yeah, she's probably not even there, so I'm not even gonna go.
And then, like, the girl, like, finds baseball tickets. He's just like, I need them. And she's like, okay, but this was for my little brother. He's dying. He's just like, God damn it. Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, so then he has to play baseball with him. And then it's just like, wait, but our father, who was homeless, who forgot his memory. And it's like, maybe playing baseball will help. Meanwhile, he's getting, like, flown across the field from these monster throws.
Like, they found Dad, but I thought he died.
Yeah.
You were right, though. The world was just telling him no.
Mm-hmm. And then, when he finally gave up, and then Hijikata was like, okay, cool, I was going to say, if you were there, that would be a problem because there's going to be, like, some meteorites hitting the field, that baseball field that you were going to be at. And then he was just like, wait, but what if Ote-chan really is there? So he ran over there, and sure enough, she was actually there, waiting for him.
Oh, yeah, and then he actually gets a baseball bat because the meteor's small enough that he can hit it.
Yeah, it's flying like a baseball, and he was just like, okay, I could do this.
And then he hits it, and it hits Otai-chan right in the head.
Yeah, it kind of like spins off the bat, yeah.
And the last thing you see is farewell. Oh, man. Kondo's worst day.
He just wants a GF.
He really does. He's the most thirstiest of them all.
Yeah, and it only keeps getting worse as we go along.
Jugemu Jugemu, or the fucking, the diarrhea monkey.
Yes. It says right here on the wiki, Gumen Gumen is the shortened version of this monkey's name. This next arc stars Kyubi, right, from the Yagyu clan. And her father was basically saying, like, oh, their clan has strong ties with the Shogun. That is why they are still allowed to have swords, I think, was the thing. Or something like that. And he's like, okay, he gave us a job to train this monkey. And, of course, Kyubi's like, oh, yeah, I will do it for sure. And then she goes to Gintoki and them. And it's just like, yeah, so what do I do? I don't know how do I train a monkey? You know?
They gave it a name, right?
Yeah, I have it right here. Yeah.
Jugemu Jugemu poop throwing machine Shin-chan's underwear the day before yesterday Bichi Gosumaru.
Oh, see, I have a longer version.
Okay,
that.
I know there is a longer version. I'm trying to go through the pages to find it. There we go. Jugemu Jugemu poop throwing machine Shin-chan's underwear the day before yesterday Shinpachi's life Ball monk Fezarian Isaac Schneider 1/3 pure feeling and remaining 2/3 worried over a hangnail feeling. A betrayal knows my name. I know the unknown. Unattended cuttlefish Medaka rice fish herring roe cesspool. Medaka rice fish ? This Medaka is different from last time because it's Ikeno Medaka Ryu.
And then just pay, runny diarrhea.
Oh yeah, pay. Isaac Schneider.
Yeah. Yeah, and this name just kept getting longer throughout this arc, as Kyubey does not know how to name things. And yeah, the bit is he keeps throwing shit at everybody.
Yeah, like, like the name Jugemu Jugemu, I'm looking it up. It's from a Japanese folktale, and that's what they're making fun of.
Okay.
Let's see. It's spoken entertainment. It has a simple storyline with the most humorous part being the repetition of a ridiculous long name. It is often used in training sessions for Rakugo entertainers. So it's kind of like, it's a folktale, but it's also, what's it called? Not a riddle. It's like, say this word 5 times fast. You know what I'm talking about?
A specific word?
They're not riddles. I forget the name of them.
Kind of like Beetlejuice?
Tongue twister.
Oh, tongue twisters. Okay.
Yeah. So the official, not in Gintama, but the official thing is Jugemu Jugemu Goko no Suri Kire Kai Jairi Sugu Yono. I'm butchering this. Sugiyo Matsu, Unrai Matsu, Furai Matsu, Kunero Tokoro ni Suku Butokoro Yaburakoji no Burakoji Paipo no Shuringan no Gurindai no Ponpokupi no Ponpokana no Choko Yume no Chosuke. And what that means is limitless life, 5 ko, totaling 20 billion years of rubbing off the rock. Gravel in the sea and fish in water, where water eventually goes, where clouds originally come, where wind originally comes, places to eat and sleep, places to live, Mulberry bushes in Yabura Trail. Let's see, these are Paipo, Sharingan, they're invented names for like the royal family in China or something. Long and lasting life, blessed for a long time.
Wow. Yeah, that's the big thing with Gintama is you really have to, like, this is probably one of the most one of the mangas that is like you need to know Japanese culture.
Yeah.
To really understand what's going on.
What's funny too is looking this up, you know Lakitu from Super Mario Brothers, that dude in the cloud that drops shells on you?
Yeah.
His Japanese name is Jugemu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The spines, the eggs that drop into spines are called Paipo. Let's see. Oh, you remember the Full Metal Alchemist shorts? Like the bloopers?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember when Scar was fighting Pride, and he's just like, "What's your name? Like, what's your real name?" He's like, "Jugemu Jugemu."
Yeah.
Yeah. Gintama makes fun of it. Monty Python made fun of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a similar sketch. Phoenix Wright, Hatsune Miku. Yeah, it's just a long ass name.
QB is just really hanging out with this monkey, and eventually they become good friends, hanging out all the time, and he's like, yeah, he doesn't even throw shit at anybody, but he still throws it at Gintoki.
Yeah, so they put the masks on?
Yes.
Of Gintoki?
Oh, yeah, that's when they were trying to train him early on, and so they would have like they weren't masks, I don't think. I think they were just like signs of just Gintoki's face. And like they would just move him around, and yeah, he's basically just like trying to hit Gintoki's face the whole time.
Pretty much. And I just like the fact that every time that Kyubei says Jugemu's name, she says the whole thing.
Yeah, she says the whole thing. It's like a
God, that episode got annoying. I'm like, please continue on.
That's funny.
I don't think Jugemu Jugemu, the poop throwing machine, Shin-chan's like, oh my god, she says the whole fucking thing. Oh, it got annoying. Yeah, I was glad that episode ended when I was watching it on the elliptical. And I'm like, stop saying the whole thing. You're wasting plot.
So, sadly, the reason she was training this monkey was so that way somebody of royalty can have him as a pet, and as pets are, they're sad when they make a bond with somebody. They're sad when they have to leave them, and so he decides to escape. And he actually releases a bunch of monkeys from the zoo to make it harder to try to find him.
Yep. And they go into the little monkey war.
Eventually, they find him, and the kid who was originally going to be the owner says he can stay with QB as long as he can come by and hang out with the monkey. So that ended off in a nice little bit.
That one wasn't one of my favorite arcs, again, just because of the freaking name. It got annoying. It really got irritating too.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next arc though.
Excuse me.
A little mini one.
Jeez, yeah.
This one was hilarious, where Hijikata and Gintoki went to go pay respects to this dude that passed away because he would make them food all the time. And he knew, like, oh, Hijikata, you like a lot of mayonnaise. Here's, like, mayonnaise and rice. Gintoki, here's sweet beans and rice. And he died. That was a wild time.
Yeah, and we actually saw this guy before. They show in the flashback. It was during the chapter when these guys were trying to kill Hijikata. and that's when Gintoki and Hijikata just kept bumping into the same place every time.
Yeah.
And in that chapter they were complaining about like, hey, what the fuck's wrong with your food? He's like, what the fuck is wrong with your food? You know, and the guy's like right in the middle. He's like, hey, old man, what do you think? He's like, oh, I'm not one to judge. And then they're just like, well, here, go ahead, try it. So, oh, no, it's okay. So this is the old man from that chapter, which I have to say is it's cool how the characters can come back. It's very much like One Piece in that sense, where it's like, oh, we'll always do callbacks to characters from like hundreds of chapters ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Impel Down, for example.
Mm-hmm. And this was one of those, another one of those arcs where I didn't expect it to go more than one chapter, but this one did.
I love how Gintoki looked at Hijikata. He's just like, hey, are you seeing the shit right now? I'm not the only one, right? And they see his ghost walk and like smack the shit out of someone through the wall, and then he's like all buff. Yeah,
he's like this super Chad looking spirit, and
dude, super boomer.
Yeah, and it's time for Gintoki and Hijikata to say a few words for respect, but they're too scared to go up there. And eventually, like they put it off too long, and this guy stole Shinpachi, Kagura's, Sogo's, and Kondo's souls. And they're like, "Oh, you're fucking kidding me!" And it's like, "Yeah, how about you guys go up there?" And Gintoki and Hijikata end up breaking their arms. So that way they wouldn't have to carry the casket. They're just like, oh, actually, our arms suddenly broke.
Yeah, because it's considered bad luck to carry the casket. I love how they knocked down, like, Kagura just knocked out the priest and straight up killed him.
Oh, yeah, because everybody kept doing the respects wrong.
Yeah.
So they decide to take... they actually decided to pick up the body because... the spirit, this Chad spirit is messing with their souls. He's like chopping them up into like soba noodles, and it's like he's getting ready to cook their souls.
Oh yeah, and like he's smoking at the same time, and he's putting his cigarette out on the bald monk's head.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're like, oh shit, his head's on fire. And then like everyone starts like taking off people's hair, like Sogo for example.
Yeah, so they go to try to carry the body out, but they trip, and the body gets flung out of the casket and gets thrown in to like I guess like a truck, and so they're trying to chase down the body before all their friends' souls are destroyed or eaten or whatever.
It was weird, and then his dick just popped out.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, there he is, and then like a bunch of other dicks were popping out, I guess. They were all censored, and so they brought his wife, and it's like, only you can tell which one is the real one.
And then they break his dick off. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then, like, they try to carry the casket, and that monk that was praying is somehow in the casket, and he's still in the same position with his hand in front of his face. And then they use him to, like, oh my god, this is just a wild, like, I was laughing my ass. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then he puts the souls in, like, the pan.
Yeah.
Making the food.
It was so fucking weird.
Go eat a truck full of dicks.
Yeah.
With one of them as a ghost tick. Oh yeah, most of them weren't like that. It was a type of food in that truck, and it was in like the snail shell. What the hell?
Yeah, so a lot of weird ass shit like this happens in this arc. In this chunk. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like the next one is stars Sacchan, and she's hiding as the TV in the Yorozua building, and I forget, what is it? She's like, Gintoki's like, how do you turn this off? And she's like, oh, by pressing your lips against mine.
And then Sadaharu just eats her.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, okay, go ahead, Sadaharu, turn off the TV, and ends up breaking her glasses. And, you know, she's really, like, she's pretty bad eyesight. And as she's leaving, Shinpachi and Kagura make him feel pretty bad.
Oh yeah, because her glasses broke. And he's just like, why do I feel so bad? It's like I'm playing dodgeball and I accidentally hit one of the girls in the face. Why do I feel so damn guilty?
Yeah, so he ended up going with her to buy some new glasses.
And
This guy showed up before when he was hanging out with Tama, and he was just like, I see you're looking for some engagement glasses. He's like, what the hell are engagement glasses?
Oh, yeah.
Because he thinks they're a couple, just like, because last time he was with Tama and she was looking at some nuts and bolts, like as a snack kind of thing. And he's like, I see you're looking for an engagement bolt. He's like, a what?
Engagement bolt.
Yeah, and they're trying to find some glasses for Sacchan, and she puts on those ones with the nose and mustache on the glasses. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. She's like, well, I really can't see that well. And then I forget what happens, and he ends up just taking that old man's glasses. And they're old man anime glasses, because, they're circular with the...
Oh, yeah.
Or like the swirl on it, the classic.
And she still has really bad sight.
Yeah, she really can't see, but of course she loves it because, Gintoki gave them to her. And, she's like, she's all trying to get at Gintoki.
I remember, like, she was trying to, like, sneak into that castle all secretly, and the two lords are talking to each other. They look outside. Who the hell is she? And she's just on her stomach, like, trying to look.
Yeah.
Like, all out in the open.
Yeah, so she's, her job's being affected by this, and, Hanzo's, talking to her about it. And, I think Hanzo ends up going to Gintoki to talk to him about these glasses. She still wants to finish her job. So when she goes out there, she gets ambushed, I believe. And when that happens...
Wasn't she a trap? Wasn't she laid out to be a trap?
Her as a trap? No.
Oh, okay.
That might be a different arc you're thinking of.
Okay.
But, yeah, so she's surrounded, and then eventually Gintoki and them show up to help her. And he gives her back her old glasses. Genkai fixed them. But, of course, he makes... anime robots and shit. So her glasses has all this weaponry now. She can shoot laser beams out of her eyes.
Oh yeah, can't she turn into a mecha also?
I think she did.
I think I also remember before that, when she was in the hospital and Gintoki, Kagura, and Shinpachi, they were like, okay, we'll be ninjas. And they sneak into Sarutobi's home and they just start cooking his own food. He was like, what the hell are you doing in my house?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That was this arc. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because the assassins of assassins were going to take out Sacchan because she wasn't doing her job that good. Yeah, that's what it was.
It's like, why are you coming in my house and making, what was the food? Chahan.
Yeah, they're like, well, we were hungry.
Yeah. But in my house?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal when you're in my house using my eggs and my ham. We're like, that's my chahan.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, I forgot that part. Yeah, so that's why they're there, is to help her fight them. And
take Sarutobi's food.
And then they end up, some of them end up leaving, except for Kagura.
I think, they went to, a department store. They went to Don Quixote.
Yeah, and you could hear them talking on the radio about it. Yeah, and then so they help Sacchan fight, and she's shooting laser beams out of her glasses.
Right. They went to Don Quixote, or they call it Donkey for short. I've been to Don Quixote before. It's like a Ross Dress for Less. That's 9 stories.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, dude, it's great. But yeah, people. Let's see. No, it's actually Kmart or Target in the States.
Oh, okay.
Just a mix of everything: clothes, furniture, apparel, stationery, games, electronics.
Mm-hmm.
A department store.
Yeah, okay, not bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just like, I gotta go to Donkey and get freaking preparation H for my hemorrhoids.
Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking. Gintama goes all over the place, man. I swear. When they want to get ridiculous, they get ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm
so
trying
this
to find the part with their glasses, the makers shoot lasers.
Yeah, I have a screenshot right here of it. The next arc was everybody's at the pool. And I was like, okay.
This is one of my most favorite episodes in the entire series. Oh my god!
And I'm like, all right, yeah, it's a typical anime kind of thing, nothing too crazy. And then of course, who shows up?
Shogun Kaio.
Yeah, the fucking Shogun shows up. And
that was a wild fucking episode.
And he's just in his underwear. And then, like, why the fuck is he in his underwear? Like, why not any swim trunks? He's like, oh, yes, it's a household tradition to this and that. And it's like, what? Okay. Sure, buddy. And then he was just like, okay, nobody can know he's the Shogun. Gintoki and Hasegawa, right? And they were like, okay, how about we, okay, he's just going to be our friend Sho-san. And he's just like, hey, guys, is it cool if our friend Sho-san plays too? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they look at him, and he puts on the swimming cap and goggles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then everybody's making fun of him, talking shit. Like, why the fuck is he wearing underwear?
And he gets so stretched out. Remember his underwear? Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude, that's me as the Holy Grant.
Oh, that's pretty good,
bro. Yes.
Yeah, so they play some sort of version of Chicken. Right? Whereas you get on you know, like out here, if you
I like how everyone's assholes are just fucking censored.
Yeah.
They're cracks. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Chicken, right? Where you you ride on somebody's shoulders, and then the goal is to like push them into the water.
Yeah, knock them down.
Yeah. This version, they don't want to touch the Shogun because I guess he smells.
Oh yeah, because he has a little poop stain on his underwear.
Oh yeah, he's got a poop stain on his underwear. That's
no,
right.
I'm thinking of a pee stain. One of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different arc. But yeah, so they pull out some floaties, and it's just like, okay, who's gonna be on the floaties? And so they decide to have all the guys on the floaties instead, and have the women underneath. And it's like, that's kind of the opposite of how this game goes.
That's right.
Yeah, and yeah, I gotta add, like, pretty much everybody's here. You have Cube, you have her lolly fetish guy. I forget his name. The one
the one that's with Shinsuke.
No, from the Yagyu clan.
The Yagyu.
Yeah,
clan.
he's like
the blonde hair dude.
Yeah, his eyes are always closed. Yeah, Kondo's there. I think it's
Hasegawa's there too.
Hasegawa's there. Yeah, he's actually in charge of the pool.
Katsura's there for some reason, like getting fucking watermelon and hunting fish with a goddamn trident.
Yeah, in the pools. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, okay, Elizabeth, start the fire. I got the fish. We're gonna feast tonight.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, so Kyube's there. Shinpachi, Otei-chan, Kondo, Tsukuyo's there with Seita.
Oh yeah, I think when she showed up, like the next, like not the next page, but the next panel on the same page, straight up throws a kunai in the back of Gintoki's head.
Oh yeah, because Hasegawa's like sightseeing with his binoculars, trying to find some ladies, and he sees her bust, you know, her titties, and he's like, God damn, talk about a rack, and then. And then, yeah, Gintoki looks, and it's Tsukuyo, and he's just like, oh, that's no woman, that's like some kind of beast or whatever he says. And literally, right after he says that, yeah, the kunai hits his head, and then he collapses. Bro. And then that's when her and Seita come up, and Seita's like, oh, hey, Gintoki, you're here. She's like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? You know, like acting as if she didn't throw the kunai.
I think my favorite part for that one chapter was, I'm trying to find the panel, like, right now. They were like, they had like 2 beers on them, and they're like, who cares who watches this show? It's like, people only watch this after the news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, Shonen takes breaks.
Yeah, it's like, even, because they're talking about how they don't want to work right now, to watch the pool. And like, yeah, even Jug takes a week off in the summer, so I guess it's okay for us too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then I love how, like, Gintoki just straight up takes the watermelon and the fish and starts eating it.
Mm-hmm. And eventually the game just became just the guys just fucking around while all the women went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And
how many dudes were underwater with cameras? And fucking Sacchan was there too.
Oh yeah, she was there too, that's right. Oh, because it was the bit of don't worry, I have videotape of the pervert, and it's like, you're actually the pervert. It's like, oh, don't worry, I have photographs, this and that, you know. And it was Kondo, Sacchan, and then the blonde guy from the Yagyu clan.
here's the panel. Even Jump takes off a week in the summer, so I guess it's okay for us to take a break too. Damn straight. People are always saying Gintama's really freaking wordy and skip over it anyway, so nobody will even notice if we take a break. Oh, man. I love fourth wall breaks like that in this series.
Yeah, and then eventually, they can't stop the Shogun, and they realize that, like, he's a master at this game or whatever, so they all bow down to him.
I love how, like, Matsudaira comes out of nowhere with his gun. He's just like, let me some swim trunks, bro. For the Shogun clan, when it comes time for swimming. For generations, we have been fans of the humble briefs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he had his underwear, like, stretched so far.
Yes.
In this panel. Like, it reached, like, every corner of the pool. And I love how, like, he went to the disinfectant pool before and he just put his dick in there and he was like...
Yeah, just the tip. Just the tip of his underwear. And they're like, why the fuck is he doing that?
And the little panel with, like, six sharks around the Shogun with, like, throwing him to the sharks with a pair of maracas, buck-ass naked, and having him do one of Matsukan's performances. Yeah, that was a really funny episode.
Yeah, it was wildin'.
And he was on the, even though he said he liked swimming, he was scared of the water, so he stayed on that little floaty.
Yeah, that's the reason why he stayed up there, that's right.
Oh yeah, because... Of fucking course, Hasegawa said SOS. He's turned into a castaway.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, and the Shogun got a nosebleed.
Oh, yeah, because what were they? They were saying something about being perverted, and then, yeah, his nose started bleeding.
The freaking Shogun.
Yeah, he shows back up later, and we'll get to that. So after that was the, I guess this was the part where the manga went on a hiatus. I think it was a 2-week hiatus, and yes, it was a 2-week hiatus, and Shinpachi comes back, and he's
where they all promised each other to like come back like 3 years later.
It was 2 years later.
They were making fun of One Piece for damn sure.
Oh yeah, clearly. We see Gintoki, and it's just like, wait, you don't recognize me, Shinpachi? It's me, and he looks just like he has like Yamcha's hair and scars.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck? And he's just like, it hasn't been 2 weeks, Shinpachi. It's been 2 years. What? Like, remember, we were supposed to meet up at the Saboti Archipelago, or I forget how to pronounce it. And it's like, where even that? That's from a different manga entirely. What are you talking about? And that's referencing, One Piece's Timeskip.
Oh my god.
I guess it was probably around the same time as this chapter.
What was the archipelago that they were at? The archipelago in One Piece? Was there even one where they did that?
Well, that's the name of the place they went to. It's the
in One Piece?
Yeah, it's the location you go to before you go to Fishman Island.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of mangroves, which are trees that grow in the water.
Uh-huh.
And it's this special place that like has its own effect and everything. It's a cool spot. But yeah, that's when shit really hit the fan in One Piece. And
oh wow,
that's where that eventually leads up into the time skip and all that. So they're just they're making fun of all that. That was good.
And then Kagura grows up too.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I like this design of Kagura. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's similar. She's older in the second movie, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but same personality, you could say. I love how she goes so fast. She's on top of Shinpachi's head.
Oh yeah.
And Gintoki's just like, oh shit, she's fast.
Oh no, because what was it? She's like, oh yeah, I got you this Kagura. It's like, oh, you mean this? She's like, she already grabbed it. That's fast. And then Kagura's like, oh yeah, I grabbed some snacks for us. And Gintoki's like, oh yeah, it was pretty good. And she's like, what? He grabbed it already? Yes, his
he's fast.
Yeah, whatever technique he uses, pretty fast.
Everyone grew up. Yeah,
so Shinpachi's freaking out, so he goes back home to the dojo to talk to his sister, and everything's pretty normal. And then
remember Sadaharu?
Oh yeah, Sadaharu shows up, and then he walks away, and there's just this guy with dog ears, and he was just like, guys, why is Sadaharu leaving? He's like, oh, that's not him. That was a delivery from on the planet where it has dogs that look like Sadaharu. And then the guy's talking, he's like, yes, I am Sadaharu. Sorry, it's been so long, you guys. And it's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Shinpachi's talking to his sister. Everything's pretty normal, and then next thing you know, here comes Kondo, and he's just and he's nonchalantly hanging around in the house, and Shinpachi's like,
well, before Kondo, Shinpachi's looking at everyone else, and you see Otose, you see Tama, you see Catherine, with these JoJo faces.
Well, they all look exactly how Sadaharu looks. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. And then comes to find out Kondo and Otei-chan are actually married.
And they're having a baby.
Yeah, and they're having a baby. Shinpachi's freaking the fuck out. And so he leaves.
There's blood coming out of his eyes, nose, and mouth.
Yeah. And then so he's getting ready to leave, and they're like, oh yeah, that's right, it's your first day on the job. And he joined the Shinsengumi. And so...
oh yeah!
So he went to go check it out, and he gets picked up by Hijikata and Yamazaki, right?
Well, before that, he meets up with Kyubei.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He meets up with Kyubei, and
Kyubei is actually trans now. Like, she actually did the surgery to become a boy.
Yeah, and then here comes Katsura, and Katsura did the same exact thing, become a trans person, and and actually, Kyubei wants to be with Zura
Janai, Ezurako des.
Yeah, Ezurako, that's what he changed his name to.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ace of the Kamako Club will watashi bi boku mi.
Yeah.
Weebs be like.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do get picked up by Hijikata, and he has like white hair now. Jimmy Yamazaki. Right? That's Yamazaki, yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Yamazaki.
He's all like this hard, like delinquent looking guy, and it's just like, what happened to you? You're the same guy, and
it's like, are you getting high off of onpon fumes? Like, he is a fucking plastic.
Yeah,
bag.
That's right. That's what he was doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then Hijikata, he's actually smiling, being like a nice guy, and it's like, what's going on,
dude? Hijikata's the sub.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they end up going to the Shinsengumi building, and it turns out, Sogo became the new leader, and it's now the Shinsengumi Empire.
He's the Kaiser.
Yeah.
Okita the third salute. Sogo Mega S.
Yeah, it gets ridiculous, and then it turns out Hijikata is actually normal, and he's like, I came back from a trip or whatever, and everybody was acting different. I thought it was just me at first, but there's no way it can be.
And they find out that it's a parasite, like it's a wart.
Yeah, like it's on the news, like, oh yeah, this parasite makes them think, I guess like there's been a time skip or whatever, this and that, and the only way to neutralize it is to hit him with a fan, like a paper fan.
Yeah, and then Medall's also a biker. Singer, songwriter, Medall-san's third single, Cardboard Box God.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
I'm just thinking of all of these characters that transformed.
And then so they're like, okay, so let's do this. They grab the paper, like giant paper fan so they could whack people to change them back. And as they're going to do it, it turns into like this ridiculous drama. Otei-chan, like, she just had the kid, and it's just like, wait, this is going way too fast. And Hijikata's just like about to strike or whatever. And he's getting tricked by these parasites, these warts, and eventually it gets to the point where like, actually Otei's child is not Kondo's, but it's Hijikata's.
Oh yeah, it turns into a fucking soap opera.
Yeah, so he's struggling to try to hit her with it, and
just
then
look at the hair at the front.
Yeah, and then Shinpachi's trying to hit Kagura, but then Kagura's starting to develop feelings for Shinpachi, and so he's freaking out about that. And... Dude,
I felt bad for Kondo. Oh my god, something was not right in his head, or the wart's head.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Just a doll in the pram. Like, Kondo, are you definitely not well? Oh my god, that was so creepy. And he steals Hijikata's baby.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. It just gets so ridiculous. And then eventually, coming to find out, Gintoki was actually being He was sane the whole time.
Before that, the baby gorilla.
Oh yeah, Kondo shows up with a baby gorilla. Yeah, what the fuck?
That's his son.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the dad. A real one's the dad. It's Daddy Goriko.
Guys, it was just one after the other, just so ridiculous. And this was another arc where I'm pretty sure this was like 3 chapters.
Yeah, and then Kyubey-san's baby, just like, I don't know, like a piece of shit.
Yeah,
oh my god.
And then it turns out Shinpachi actually had a wart, and Gintoki didn't, kind of thing. What are we doing, man? This Gintama is just...
Oh yeah, well, nothing I can do about it a week after next. I'm gonna go with this Bankai.
Oh, man.
Oh, it says Gintoki is dressed as Onina, those things from Bleach. A Deus Ex Machina transformation. That's it. The Bankai.
Bankai.
And then the next one was them eating the crab. That was a good episode.
Oh yeah, the crab dinner was that was a fun time. It was the lights kept going out, and every time a light went out, one leg of the crab
and they're like, missing. Who the hell's eating that?
Yeah. Well, and then the bit too was just like, why is there only one crab? And it's just like do you think we actually need that more than one crab? That's a lot of food.
Did they find out who was eating it? It was Kagura, right?
It was Kagura and Gintoki.
What the hell? Yeah, that was like a mini chapter.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of the I think it was one of the New Year's chapters where Otose and Catherine came up and they bought beef for the stew.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody's like, it's like a game of chess. Everybody's plotting, trying to figure out, when's the right time to strike to eat the food. And using words against themselves to like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll eat this part since you said you'd rather have the legs. And Gintoki's like, God damn it, Shinpachi caught on. Can't believe I'm being tricked. This and that. Yeah.
And they come up with their own stories, and they're like Japanese warlords or something. Like fighting each other for crab legs. The crab Takihomi Gohan cap. There's like a giant cannon on it.
Yeah, and then eventually it ends just how these chapters usually end with Kagura doing something to the food, and they're just like, well, okay, I guess fuck it, let's just try to eat this.
Yeah, time to eat. And she just eats the whole thing. No, she's like, I've had enough. You guys can have the rest. There's a lot of comedy arcs.
Yeah, there really wasn't a... I think the Kabuki arc was the only one. I mean, well, I guess there's one that'll pop up that we'll talk about. So the next one was with Katsura. He's in disguise as a maid for the chief of the Shinsengumi.
Oh yeah, this one about his daughter. Okay.
Yeah, and so Katsura's name is Ezurako.
Dude, that was really cool for like the cover of Lesson 329. It was just him without a shirt with the gun smoking.
Yeah, that was a good one. Katsura's just trying to infiltrate, try to figure out this man's routine. He comes to find out like him and his daughter always fight, this and that, and because he's always out all the time drinking, and he doesn't really know how to be a dad, kind of bit.
And then she becomes a hostage.
Yeah, well, it's her birthday at some building, and she gets the whole party gets captured by these just people that hate the Shinsengumi, and everything's on lockdown. Nobody could go in, and they're trying to find out where the chief of police is on the phone with the main guy, and then it comes to find out that chief of police is in the building, and he's in the stall taking a shit when these guys just showed up. So he's the only one there.
Let a guy take a dump in peace?
Yeah. So it's he's infiltrating by himself, trying to save the day. Katsura helps as well. Actually, some good moments in here. So I mean, there's some good moments in here for sure. With the police chief talking about trying to be a father and all that was pretty great. Katsura had some moments with his daughter that was nice. And then even at the end, he's like, oh, next time I won't let you off the hook, Katsura. At the end, he finally realized who it was.
I like how he used his dirty underwear as a tactic to distract the guards.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez.
I was like, ugh. And then the next one.
See, there's just some humor in Gintama where I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure the mangaka just okay, let me think of something random and try to make a bit out of it. And that's what this next arc is. It's a school field trip, and it's basically like a bunch of kids are going to go see the workforce and see how it is to be an adult. Mm-hmm. And Kagura has, you know, since she acts like a child, she has a lot of kid friends.
I know this one. It's a very popular panel from the anime. Okay, keep on going.
Okay. And so she's telling Gintoki Shappachi, like, oh, we should have them visit here. You know, they're on their way, this and that. And he's just like, well, we're not really that good of a business, right? Work's been slow, this and that. Like, what are we going to do? And it's like, oh, too late, they're already here. And, you know, Gintoki was against it the whole time until they showed up. Then he got into the bit, and he built this thing called the Patriot.
Oh, yeah. The hammer made from the tissues?
Yeah, of tissue boxes and like toilet paper rolls and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, this is where we make the Patriots. And it's like, what the fuck is a Patriot?
Oh, man.
And this class actually has the kid from before that was hanging out with Hasegawa. That was during the whole Madao thing. And I have to say, I don't know if he forgot or not, but the fact that the kid didn't recognize Hasegawa, I kind of figured he would, because Hasegawa does show up eventually in here. And they don't really talk, or the kid doesn't even mention Madao at any point. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was, I don't know, I figured he would have remembered or something, you know. Because the fact that we could pull, we could pull characters that only show up once, you know, and we could still remember them, even if our main characters can still remember them. You know, I figured for sure, like, they would remember each other, but they just didn't. And I guess it's because, like, the bit is more important than them recognizing each other, I guess.
So the popular panel from the anime is, like, when Kondo is in that tub of tomatoes and the kids are just like, do you ever want to die? And he's just like, a very good question. That's, like, one of those popular panels in Gintama. And the other one I have saved is Hasegawa. He's just like, I'm a patriot, standing like a cross on one foot.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, all these kids, they're going all to the people that we recognize. So Kondo, he's talking about being a stalker, first off. And it's like, how's that a job, you know? And then they go to Hijikata, and then there's this kid talking about a sense of justice and what is absolute and what isn't kind of thing. And, Hasegawa just hates his job after that. And then, they all get together and decide, like, we have to, you know, show them, what it truly means to be an adult. So they pick some random building and they turn it into the Patriot Factory. And it turns into, like, this whole bit. And it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, that's all I kept thinking of. Like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah,
that was a kind of weird thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of those moments for me in here. The next one was kind of interesting. It's this ex-boxer whose occupation is the Nagurareya? Which is basically, it's a person that you can beat up for 1 minute to relieve your stress.
And then I think you pay him for that.
Yeah, you pay him, and you got to fight him for 1 minute. And he's an ex-boxer, so, you know, all these office workers don't really do that much damage to him. And then he's like, yeah, come on, anybody wants to try? You know, and Kagura tries, you know, knocks him out in one punch. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize there were this many strong people here in this town or whatever. So she starts to show him around town, you know, and it's just like, oh, yeah, I need depressing people, basically, to punch me. And, she just goes around town, introduces, like, the main cast to him. And,
I just saw your post that says the Holy Grant be like.
Holy Grant be like, bro.
Dude. Oh my god. Am I gonna cosplay as the fucking Shogun? Oh, man. Alright, continue.
Really not a lot to say here.
Don't forget about Takeshi and his freaking cartridge.
Oh yeah, that was a running gag in this chapter. Yeah, like, who the hell is Takeshi?
And they find, like, the it's a paper full of like codes that you put in for the old games, like passwords and whatnot, and one of them is just Onpon is the Onpon paper.
Yeah, that's right.
That's gonna be a recurring joke too.
Oh, that's great.
And the Shinsengumi get involved. The passwords, and they're from Takeshi. And then what the hell does the spell revive? Onpon. In the end, Takeshi gets his cartridge back.
Yeah. Just those weird fucking bits.
Right.
That was pretty much. Oh, and then it ends off with Kagura trying to cheer him up, saying like, "Look, that guy right there is like really stressed out. Why don't you go, be his punching bag?" But then when he goes over there, he's drawn like pretty perverted. Yeah, and then the guy that just ends up punching him. It's like, "Hey, you creep," you know.
Oh, the next episode. I mean, the next.
Yeah.
one.
So.
This is where Gintama gets really weird. All these comments you're getting into.
So this right here, right? I remember
this is a famous episode.
When we would go to the gym and you would watch Gintama, right? And that's when I think I first read it.
And I remember you would peek over sometimes.
Yeah, I would just peek over, see what you were checking out, and one of them was this arc, I believe, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ! Like Gintama is so raunchy in the anime. Like I'd never seen it like that in the manga.
Yeah, see,
and then I got to this, and I was like, "Oh no, it's happening. This is where it begins."
Yeah, I remember like when I would watch Gintama before I would watch. One of the reasons why I went when I would go to the gym late at night because I don't want people seeing the shit that I'm watching, and Gintama is the biggest reason why. I'm like, I am embarrassed to watch this shit in public. Oh man, my dumbass would just be laughing while on the elliptical just because of like how raunchy this shit is.
Yeah, man, and this was
this is a famous episode.
This is like starting to be slowly but surely. This is like the new standard, right, for Gintama. Like,
this is where it goes HD also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's I forget which season it was, but like the old episodes, the ratio for it, how it fits the screen, like they broke the fourth wall. They're like, oh, this new season of Gintama, we're going widescreen. Here, watch this. There you go. So yeah, this is when it's all widescreen in HD.
Cool, man. Yeah, they go to an onsen. Yeah, and we see Kondo Hijikata's there. I think Sogo's there too.
Pretty much most of the Shinsengumi.
Yeah, Shinpachi's there. Kagura and Otei-chan are on the women's side. And who shows up but Gintoki's neighbor, who owns the flower shop, the demon.
Oh,
the demon-looking alien. And he decided to bring his whole family. And they're all just demon-looking guys. And it's the same bit where they're just like, Jesus Christ, like, are they here to take over the planet? Like, what's going on? And they're trying to avoid them as much as possible. So they're in the kiddie room, or in the kiddie pool, excuse me. And
and they're turning into icicles because of how cold it is.
Yeah, and so actually all these aliens go into the cold one because they can't handle warm water. Yeah, and then they lower it and like, oh, they want to cool it down, and it's like, don't worry, brother, that's why I brought this icicle or this glacier. And it's like, what? And so there's this giant chunk of ice in the water. Yeah, and they're freezing to death. And they want to get out, but they're surrounded. And it just gets more ridiculous as this arc goes on. Like, it's... I don't know, man. Like, so, yeah, the whole...
A drill goes up someone's ass, the fucking old grandpa's balls, like...
Or just they're being stretched around.
Yeah.
Yeah, eventually he gets submerged underwater with Gintoki and Kondo. They're trying to untangle themselves. And then Kondo comes out with a towel wrapped on his head and toothpaste.
And a light bulb.
And a light bulb trying to, like, oh yeah, these are my horns. He's like, huh, what's going on? Of course I'm your dad. Oh yeah, because I think, I don't remember, man. There's just too much going on here.
Yeah.
And so they're slowly trying to leave, and then, one thing leads to another, and they're washing each other's backs, and it's just like, oh yeah, these are just so and so customs here, yada yada, trying to give an excuse. I was like, why am I reading this, man? What is going on?
right.
I know I keep saying that, but that's what I keep saying when I'm reading these, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Basically, most of those comedy arcs, that's what it is in a nutshell. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and man, there's just so much here that's like that. It's so ridiculous.
You get used to it after a while.
Yeah. I mean, all I also have to say about this Onsen arc was it's just ridiculous. Like, this is the most ridiculous so far that I've read for Gintama.
Completely feel you, I understand.
Yeah. The next one was actually pretty funny, I thought.
It doesn't even relate to Gintama at all. Like, the school story. Yeah. It's so different.
Oh, I don't have... What school story?
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm looking through manga decks right now. It's a one-shot work. Bankara Sanga Toru.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't read that one yet.
Okay, so that's its own original thing.
Yeah, the manga ended up doing a one-shot, and they threw it here as a special chapter.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't check it out yet. I'll probably will after I'm done reading Gintama.
I was looking through Crunchyroll. I'm like, I don't remember that episode. Okay.
But the next one was another New Year's chapter. Actually, arc, excuse me, because this goes on for a few chapters. And everybody's there, right? Like, everybody. So you have, like, Sacchan, Tsukuyo, Gintoki and them, Otose's there. Kyubei shows up, all that good stuff. Hasegawa, of course. And since it's New Year's, Gintoki wants to drink. And this is, like, the first time...
Oh, this one. He gets super drunk and he doesn't remember.
Yeah, and my thing was, I guess Gintoki's known to, like, get really super blackout drunk.
When he goes hard.
Yeah, which I don't really remember that being a thing before this one. But anyways, yeah, they party super hard. And he's just like, fuck, man, what happened? I don't remember.
That's where the face comes in.
Yeah, he wakes up. He wakes up in a hotel. And he was like, damn, who the fuck did I bang? And then he looks under the covers, and it's Otose.
It takes up half a page. Oh, that fucking face. Forget the K point. I punctured the stratosphere.
Yeah, and they're both horrified, and he's just like, yeah, I don't really remember anything, and they kind of just go their separate ways, and slowly but surely, it comes to the reveal that, actually, he slept with everybody. He slept with Ote-chan, with Kyubi, with Tsukuyo, with Sacchan, and he's like freaking the fuck out. He's like, did I really do all that? And Hasegawa was just like, yep, buddy, you did. I was there too. And who does he talk to? Oh, he talks to Hattori. And they hang out for a bit, and he was just like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do, man. And he's just like, yeah, you can either just live a shameful life, just leave or whatever, or just man up, and accept the facts. And so he goes and meets every female and talks about how, like, yeah, I should, take responsibility for my actions. And so we should probably pursue this, And then so he, with Hattori's help, he gets like this, I guess like this, like pretty rundown building, and he has everybody live there in separate like apartments, I guess, whatever it is, and it's just like, okay, this is my life now, I'm everybody's boyfriend.
This shit gets ridiculous.
Yeah, and then eventually everybody finds out, like, everybody starts talking to each other, and he's just like, this is the worst possible fucking moment ever. Like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, and remember when he's like in between the wall, and Tsukuyo and Kyubei just start like screwing around with his body, like they bend it, he goes into like a perpendicular angle.
Yeah, well, he gets stuck in the middle of the wall, and they're both trying to pull him out, and he's like, actually, it's fine, just leave me like this. And it's dinner time, and so they're trying to feed him. So yeah, Tsukuyo's trying to feed Gintoki, and then Kyubei's trying to as well, but it's his ass is on Kyubei's side of the house, and it's like, what do we do? Yeah. And the fucking the lolly fetish guy, I keep forgetting his name, shows up, and he just throws the skewer in his ass, and that forces and that pushes him forward, and he dunks his face in Tsukuyo's food, and it's just a nightmare that's going on.
Oh man!
And then eventually all the women are talking to each other. They don't reveal that they're dating Gintoki, and they all start talking shit to each other. And it's like, okay, how about we all go, on this date on this day? And then
I'm saving this panel with like Gintoki and like the 5 horses.
Oh yeah, us.
Yeah, us.
Grant Con be like,
dude, yes.
Yeah, so they all want to go on this one date. Gintoki doesn't know what to do. Hattori decides to help him out, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna teach me like shadow clone jutsu, basically." And he's like, "Yeah, something like that." He's like, "Wait, really? We can do that?" And it's and yeah, that's where that's where that shot comes in, where it's just Gintoki in a tuxedo, next to like 4 other ones, but they all have horse heads.
And then, because I think they were making fun of a Japanese actor, but then what they do is they start to there are these blow up sex dolls of Gintoki. They all look like him.
Yeah, they're all sex dolls of Gintoki.
And he's trying to control them all.
Yeah, with strings, and things just get ridiculous. I think he's with Atose, and then everybody else has the puppets.
One of them goes flying. They're like, "What the hell is that in the stars?" Wait,
I
what
think
is this?
Yeah, Cube hits him, and he's ends up getting flown. And then the one with I think it's with Tsukuyo. He starts messing with the guy next to him, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
And then he just vores Otai-chan.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jesus, yeah. And then Gintoki was just like, fuck it, and tries to crawl away. And then Atose wakes up. She's like, Gintoki, where are you going? And then everybody turns around like, Gintoki?
I think Sacchan starts blowing his ass because he's deflated.
Yeah, that's right.
Tai-chan turns into a goddamn demon.
What happens? They have him tied up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what happens after he gets caught.
Oh, so he's hanging from a tree, like from his torso.
That's right. Yeah. And
he gives them, So he's just like, forget all the crap you've been through, drink up. He's gonna give him sake, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna drink anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done drinking, and then he grabs the bowl, and then in the bowl it just says, "You've been punked."
Ooh.
So they were all messing around with him the whole time, and this was all just a plan to have Gintoki stop drinking. Yeah, so he decides to quit drinking, this and that, and he's just walking around town. Everybody's like, "Hey, come in for a drink," this and that. And he refuses, and then I forget, somebody says something, and then he says, "Fuck it, hey, give me this drink or whatever." Yeah, it was a pretty fun chapter. All that ridiculous stuff.
Just now, you promised to lay off the booze.
Yeah,
the face comes again, and they all start laughing at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that was pretty fun for a New Year's arc.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then the next one, they have a job. And they're at like a...
Dude, we're still 17 chapters away. We're talking about so much.
Dude, a lot. They just go through so much in here, man. This one, I kind of like this arc too. Has a good ending as well. But it starts off with Gintoki and them investigating...
the prisoners!
Yeah, I forget. They're like at a strip club or something, talking, and Gintoki's trying to hit on the stripper. And they're just like, what are you doing, you pervert, or whatever. And I think a cop's there, too. And they're just like, hey, buddy, why do you have these minors in here? Like Kagura and Shinpachi. And so Gintoki gets arrested. I guess harassing the stripper and, having Kagura and Shinpachi at the strip club. I think it was a strip club. I don't remember. But, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so he gets there. He talks shit to the warden, and the warden locks him up. And so he's in jail. And his roommate, or his cellmate, is this old man who's been there forever. He has a 200-year life sentence.
Oh, yeah, the prisoner. Yeah. The fucking, the Fist of the North Star looking dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, that guy shows up eventually. Yeah. And he's kind of like the...
Oh, you're talking about the old dude, the short one.
Yeah, his cellmate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we see him, and we see him writing a letter to his son. And then we get a feel of the prison. And then eventually, Gintoki just becomes the new boss.
Oh, yeah, because he whoops the dude's ass.
Well, technically he doesn't, because his cellmate has a deal with the warden, to where if nothing goes on for like 2 months or whatever, he could meet his son, right? Because he doesn't have any visitation rights, and with Gintoki in his cell, it's a problem because if Gintoki gets in trouble, then that's going to pass on to me. So please don't do anything rash. And he's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And so the warden hires the Fist of the North Star looking guy with the tattered sleeves to cause some problems, so that way they could fight each other, and then that'll cause him the setback with the old man meeting his son. But it doesn't turn out as the way the warden wants it, as Gintoki becomes the new boss of the prison. Everybody's giving them his puddings. Before that, there was a funny bit where Gintoki was like, okay, if you want to meet your son, how about I have your pudding? And the old man was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Hell no. You know, he's making like a huge deal out of it. And it's just like, come on, man, what's more important? You're meeting your son or freaking pudding? And he's like, shut the fuck up, this and that. It was just ridiculous. So yeah, Gintoki's, you know, he's the new boss man. And eventually a coup ensues in the prison. The prisoners had enough. They capture the warden, and then we find out Gintoki does some snooping around, and we find out, the warden's actually been writing these letters impersonating the son because the son passed away. But he doesn't want this old man to get heartbroken about it. So he took over in writing the letters.
Dude, that was pretty sad.
Yeah, it got pretty serious. Was not expecting that.
It was like surprise. I was like, oh shit. Thank you for that cropped photo. It's going to be my new cover photo for Facebook. Sorry, Gears of War.
So Gintoki helps the warden, and then, you know, it ends off nice with the warden finally have a real conversation with the old man, as the warden got fired, and so he promised he's still going to write letters and all that. Yeah, some good stuff here. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, that one was I didn't really like that one. It was just like kind of boringish one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not my favorite. It was just kind of dragged on.
Well, it was a pretty slow-paced arc, for sure.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So the next one, Gintoki goes back to that antique shop that he went to like a long time ago in the manga. He's trying to find a VHS player, I think. I forget what he's trying to find.
It's the cursed one, isn't it?
Yeah, and the lady ends up just giving him a cursed Blu Ray. And they hit play, and it's like a... Oh, God, what's it called? The Ring, basically.
Yeah.
And, so she's just like, I just need a place to live. You know, have my spirit in or whatever.
Kotatsu!
Yeah. I kind of just skimmed this one, because I was like, this one's kind of whatever for me. But eventually...
Basically, she had a kotatsu.
Yeah, and then Gintoki goes to Genkai, gets a GPS thing on his moped, on his scooter, and she enters the screen of that thing and helps him navigate, but she's like going like off of cliffs, wrong directions and all that.
Dude, I feel bad for her because like she's being hung, but she's talking at the same time. She's like an angel.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's like, if I can't even wish for that anymore, she rips off one of her wings.
Oh, God, that's right, yeah.
Maybe with these blood red wings, I can fly somewhere. But damn, like, this shit gets dark.
Yeah, so I thought that one was alright. It was just skimming it, really.
Yeah, I feel ya. It was
But the next one, as I said, the Shogun would come back, and he comes back in this one. Everybody's on a ski trip.
Oh, ho, ho. Ooh, man.
Yeah, and I remember you were watching this one too, and I was looking at it, and I was like, what the oh, man.
We broke the break.
Jesus, yeah.
If you pull on their underwear, it'll slow them down.
Yeah, that was, ridiculous.
That was a hell of a time, wasn't it? Anything with the Shogun is gonna be ridiculous, no matter what.
What was ridiculous was, like, we didn't even really get deep into it, but, like, the Shogun skiing, it's like, he's pretty good. And they're like, wait, isn't he in the air for too long? And it's like,
yeah,
and then
he's on the helicopter.
Yeah, he's got a harness on and everything, and it's like, what the fuck? And it's just like, the Shinsengumi are to make sure that he's gonna have a good time.
Yeah, and they're like, oh shit, let's see, there's landings, they removed it. Wait, hold on, I have an idea. And they shoot a rocket launcher.
Oh, yeah,
They shoot a rocket at the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, the Shogun bumps into Gintoki, and Hijikata's like, hey, sorry, you alright? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And it's like, oh, it's Gintoki, and then he rides off on his snowboard, like, but then you look...
The moment I jumped, my nether regions were fluffed up, and it felt pleasant. I like to do it once more. Understood!
Oh, yeah.
Hey, another dick fluffing. Bring the helicopter back around. And, like, the bottom of his snowboard says Shogun.
Yeah, as Gintoki snowboards out of there, we look, and it's like, wait, that's not a snowboard. That's the Shogun. What?
Yeah, because, freaking, what was it? Kagura threw a giant-ass snowball at the helicopter.
Oh, that's what it was. That's right.
Yeah. And then it just exploded, and Hijikata's just like, oh, shit. And then she makes the jet, Neo Cyclone jet, whatever it's called, and starts to throw it at Sogo. And they're like, where the hell's the Shogun? And he's hanging from his underwear on the ski lift.
Oh, that's what it was, yeah. And that's where Shinpachi and Otei-chan were at.
Yeah, and Otei-chan just keeps on kicking him.
Yeah, trying to get him off. And then, of course, Kondo's following her. He's like, good thing I was up here. I found the Shogun. And then he decides...
takes off his clothes.
Yeah, he decides to strip because they were calling the Shogun a pervert. And so that's why he did that. And then...
they're on a sled, and they're like, the tighty-whitey duo have ended up in a really weird position.
Yeah, so they get sent flying, and then Hijikata decides to use Kondo as a snowboard. Yeah, and then Otei-chan's trying to help too. She rides Shinpachi, but like normally, and they're just like, why are they acting like this is a normal thing to do?
Oh my god.
And then I forget what happens. I think they go off a cliff.
Yeah, so like they're riding Kondo, and they're also riding the Shogun, and they're like, hey, like, we gotta slow down, what do we do? Wait a second, if you tug on their underwear, like, it'll slow them down. And then they're like, oh shit, it's working. And they're like, wait, how is it working? Oh shit, isn't there a break? Just do it, just keep on doing it. They go on a little jump, and they see blood, and they're like, oh fuck, we broke the brakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they and then you're right. Otei-chan uses Shinpachi, but he's still awake and conscious.
Yeah,
and they do fall off.
He's like, it's a totally normal thing.
And Kagura's in a snowball.
Yeah,
and
with
just
Sogo.
switches heads. Yeah.
And they both keep talking. Yeah, it's just fucking.
Whenever things go wrong, you'll carry your false hopes with you to your grave. If you're going to give up, this battle is over. Yes. They look like a fucking. And then Katsura's in there too. I've been on standby underneath the snowball this whole time.
So yeah,
Kagura, Sogo, do you know about the prostate break?
Yeah.
But yeah, they do fall off the cliff.
Yeah, and then eventually, slowly but surely, everybody meets back with each other, and they're trying to find the Shogun. But the storm's getting pretty intense, and they're like, okay, we started a fire, so we could always meet back on this place. And then they're
Katsura will give you it's Kondo will give you our warmest clothes. Just gives them mittens.
Yeah.
Be careful out there, Kondo. Yeah. All they gave are gloves, though.
And then eventually Katsura is here too for some reason.
Yeah, he's in a snowman, and then Kondo just kicks him down.
Yeah. Eventually, they meet back up with the Shogun. He's wearing like this bear felt, like this whole outfit that just looks like a bear.
And they make that. I think Kagura and Gintoki make that igloo, and they're like, it's like being in mommy's belly because it's so warm for them.
Yeah.
There's only a Bigfoot. They find the shoe.
Oh yeah, Katsura sleeps in the shoe.
It's a giant shoe. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just pointing out these little things. And then fucking Otei-chan finds chupacabras.
Oh yeah, the cave of chupacabras. Yeah.
She fights them all. But yeah, then they find a little hut.
Well, that's where the Shogun is at. Yeah.
And it's like really warm, I think.
Yeah, so they're all there now. They're trying to cuddle for warmth, is what it is. And they're like, obviously the Shogun's going to be in the middle, this and that. And then they're just like, oh wait, but the Shogun kind of smells though. Like, yeah, we don't want to be next to him. You know, they think it's the bear pelt, right? So he takes it off and he's just in his underwear. And it's like, actually, it smells worse now. Like, oh, maybe it was just the underwear and the bear suit was masking the smell.
And they make him look like a ninja with a turtleneck.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, I don't remember what happens.
They make him fly like a fucking helicopter. Like, they spin him around, and he goes through the roof.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because
they spin him so fast.
The adults, right? Kondo, Katsura, Hijikata, and Gintoki are like, fine, we'll be the ones in the middle. And they're like, well, somebody has to be next to his dick.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so they kept spinning him, and then he flies in the air, and that's when everybody else sees him. Like, all the other Shinsengumi are just like, what is that? That's the Shogun!
Oh my God. And then the Shinsengumi find...
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's how it ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all just meet up and they're rescued.
And then the next one, Shinpachi has a girlfriend.
Yeah, so that's when I was reading that, and I was like, oh, okay, this will be interesting. I wonder if it's going to be a returning character or something. And then, oh, this is a dating game on the DS called Love Choriss. Yeah, that was this arc is so Woolad. That was something.
The meteors are just faces. The meteors, like it goes from a dating sim to like not Space Invaders. I forget the name of it.
Oh, you're talking about so the Gintoki or Shinpachi's just obsessed with this game.
Yeah.
And so they're asking I guess Gintoki to help him, but he's like, I don't even know what to do. And of course Kondo being Kondo chimes in. He's like, oh yeah, no, this game, yeah, I know everything about this game. I'll help you out.
Recite the Buddhist Heart Sutra 100 times for me. No! Why's my love choice gotta be different?
Yeah.
It's starting to look more like Biohazard Resident Evil.
Yeah, so Gintoki's playing the game, and he picks the, what the fuck, I forget her name. I think it was Paco, who is the unattractive choice in the game. And he was just like, why is she so different? You know, compared to the rest of the cast. And he's like, why can't I just pick this girl? And he's like, no, because, Shinpachi's already using that one. You have to pick a different one. Yeah, so it gets to this bit of Gintoki trying to understand the game, but, he's just not having it. He's hating this game. He doesn't understand. And then there's this tournament.
Pinko is her name.
Pinko, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, so there's going to be this tournament, and they decide, okay, cool, we're gonna have to beat Shinpachi there, and that's gonna break him out of the spell that he has for this game.
And then he meets up with Kondo, and then Kondo's like waifu turned 2D to 3D.
Yeah, we get to the point where we could visualize the GFs.
Yeah.
But then later we only find out it's actually just the only the people playing the game can see the GFs. And so they're going to this I think it's called My Wife Tenkaichi Budokai, which is a parody. I'm pretty sure it's a parody of Dragon Ball, right? Because that's what those tournaments were called, Tenkaichi Budokai, Strongest Under the Heavens. Also because the announcer, the host for the tournament, he looks just like the same announcer in Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tenkaichi Budokai. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
My Wife. Oh my God, he does look like him with the little hair frizzle and the mini pump.
And so when we get there, we find out that there are other people there. I keep forgetting his name. The guy from the Yagyu clan.
I can't remember his name either.
That's my main problem with reading manga. It's like Japanese names I just can't really hook on that well. Tojo was that's his last name, so that's easy to remember. So so Tojo's there, and he basically made Kyubi in the game using one of the characters. So she looks just like Kyubi, got an eye patch with like a Lolita dress, because that's his fetish kind of thing. And then we see Sacchan is there, and she used Pinko. Well, they both used Pinko, but Sacchan made Gintoki to the point where she's even wearing the same outfit as him.
Oh man, you remember Sogo?
Yeah, this part was hilarious, man. Sogo's there.
Actually
Shows up.
treats her like shit.
Sogo shows up and is just like, Kondo's like, oh, hey, you're here? He's like, huh? Kondo, boss, what are you guys doing here? And it's just like, oh, we're here for the tournament. Like, oh, you actually play this game too? And it's like, he's just like, yeah. And what is this? Kondo's like, oh, yeah, here's my girlfriend, and she's gone. He's like, oh, where'd she go? And then she's over there kneeling to Sogo.
Oh, yeah.
And Sogo's just like, how was it to pretend to date somebody you don't even care about?
Well, she's in the pig pen, right?
No, this is before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we find out that Kondo's game was infiltrated by Sogo. So she's like, yeah, I never loved him, this and that. It was, it was horrifying to be over there. Like, thank you for coming back, Master.
Oh my god. I don't know what the hell Sogo did. He was just being himself.
Sogo's just like that Dom personality, man.
Yeah, dude, he's not even a Dom, he's a masochist. He's a dominant masochist. And like all the other girls around him are just like, we have Return Master, where it breaks all the other NPCs.
Yeah, so the tournament's broken up into 3 brackets. Each bracket's for each character. And Shinpachi wins his, just being an innocent vanilla boy. And then, the one Kondo enters, all the women submit to Sogo. So he all of them. So he ends up winning, and then Gintoki ends up winning as well
because he has a boxing match with Pinko.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they were making fun of Punch-Out, and Kondo is like the, he's the one telling him at Fry's, like, what are you afraid of, Joe? No, was it making fun of Hajime no Ippo?
No, Ashita no Joe.
Oh, that was making fun of Ashita no Joe? Okay.
Yeah. Gintoki wins, so we get to the final round, and, it's like dating scenarios, I think. I forget what it was.
And then the lolly dude has to fight the, I think I'm way ahead. Never mind.
Well, no, he gets disqualified as well. Yeah.
Because he fights the hotel manager. Like Street Fighter style.
It gets, like, the Pinko stuff just gets, like, super weird.
Uh-huh.
And then, Sacchan as well gets fucking weird. And then, so we're in the finals, and, Gintoki unlocks, Pinko's true form, and it turns out that she's, like she's pretty hot, and they're just like, oh, how, like, what? We didn't know this was happening, this and that. And it's like, it turns out that she's a tsundere.
Yeah, that's right. And then I love how like Sogo comes back and his girlfriend's on a goddamn chain leash.
Yeah. Very, of course, classic Sogo.
And then she turns into the dominatrix.
Yeah, and then, what's it called? So his dating scenario... Have you licked
my dirty shoes, dirty pig? I want to walk all over you.
Yeah, and so, like, they're going over, like, his scenario, and it's like, Sogo hasn't moved a single spot. Like, what's going on? And, like, she's saying, like, all this stuff, people are staring this and that, and it's like, oh, wait, no, actually, they're not actually looking at the zoo looking at some animals. She's in the cage. Like, he's treating her like an animal, and it's like, yep, mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was... I remember this, actually. It's coming back to me. The video game ones don't really stand out for me, except for the Nintendo OE one. Dating sims are... I don't know.
Yeah, so it just ends off with Gintoki winning, but he gets too into it. Mm-hmm. That like he took off all his clothes because they went to a love hotel, I believe.
Oh yeah, and the manager appeared.
Yeah, I think so.
When they took off all their clothes, a manager has appeared. Why the manager?
Oh yeah, and then they start playing like Tetris, him and Shinpachi.
Yeah, Ten Choriss.
Mm-hmm. It gets ridiculous, and then I'm pretty sure I believe it was at the end. Gintoki actually likes the game, kind of thing.
Like, he's going so deep into this game, he has that gamer aura around him.
Yeah.
That's like the difference between slouching and sitting up and hunching forward when you know a game's getting serious. Oh yeah, then he goes naked.
Yeah, he got a little too into it.
But yeah, that's our review for Gintama. Jesus Christ, was this longer than the other one?
Let me double check.
See.
Because this one, like this chunk of chapters, there's just so much dialogue. The arcs are actually longer.
For comedy arcs too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this might be the longest episode so far.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, man, these 50 chunks, these 50 pages or chapters, excuse me. Yeah, just so much ridiculousness. I kind of miss just normal arcs at this point. It's sad to see that only the Kabuki one, and I guess maybe the jail when Gintoki's in jail too.
Yeah, only kind of a mini one.
Yeah, but I want to get back into some more interesting arcs.
There is going to be another arc. I'm looking ahead. It's a long comedy arc. It has to do with Elizabeth, actually. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, it's an Elizabeth arc. To my surprise, you will see Sakamoto come back, the merchant dude with the guns.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that one actually lasts like a couple chapters.
All right, cool. So yeah, that's all I read this time around. We'll definitely be back for the next 50 chapter or so chunks that I'm going to read.
Don't worry, the next episode will be 6 hours long.
Yeah. God, yeah, that's just the thing with Gintama, is just there's so much dialogue, man. It's crazy.
Whew, man.
Yeah. So that's going to wrap us up today, guys. Thanks for listening. You can email us at unversedpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, what do you guys think of Gintama? I would like to know other opinions on this wild series that this is.
Wild. And thank you for sticking to the end if you listen to the whole thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, boy. Who lad.
Man. Yeah, you're right about those two photos, though. The Grant, the Holy Grant.
Holy Grant and Grant Con, bro.
Bruh.
You can keep up to date by following us at Unversed Podcast anywhere you go, where you can find out where the latest episodes are at. And of course, friendly reminder that we are on Spotify. So if that's your preferred place to listen, go hop on over there. So thanks for listening, guys, and we will talk to you on the next episode. Hey, 君はバディ。ののそれだけでいい。奇跡